The opening tip won by the Sixers, and we're underway here in Philadelphia. Count the basket. A lot of contact. No foul.
That's lunch pail business right there. Don't worry about the no call. Keep powering through.
Harden to Paul. 4-3. And Chris Paul, he's been doing that for years. Wide open look, and he buries it. When you look at playmakers in the last decade plus, what sets Chris Paul apart?
He always puts you in a position to succeed. He leads because he's vocal, and when he directs and he guides, there is nobody better at the position than CP3.
Paul to Anthony. Here comes the screen. 5 seconds to shoot. That's a 24-second violation. To Allen. From long range, Grayson Allen, you know he loves a challenge.
Just let me break down to all the young players at home how special of a pass this was. That was a perfect delivery, and it hit the player right in the chest.
Ooh, Chris Paul. 2 for 2. That's what you want.
When the ball's in his hands, we all knew what was going to happen.
Now a steal on a very lazy pass there. With the rock, it's Chris Paul. Can't connect from in close.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Harden with the basketball. They're down 3. Slams it down.
See, Ed, that's what I love. You don't need to conserve your energy. You attack that rim with ferocity. You always set the tone.
Slam dunk.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Paul into the front court. He'll run the offense. To Capella. Nice pass to set things up.
He's been doing this for years. The physicality in which he plays. No one wants to see that. You're going to leave.
Embiid, good for 2.
Well, when you play for each other and not just for yourself, that's when great things happen. You essentially lose yourself in what the team is trying to accomplish. It's called unselfish basketball. And there's nothing more beautiful than rewarding your teammate with a nice pass and letting them finish for 2 or 3 points.
Waller into the front court. Up by 3. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Contact on a drive can be a beautiful thing. Making those tough shots can really help you build a mental advantage over your defender.
Driving right to the basket. Working hard on the glass. Joel Embiid rejects it.
That kid can block out the sun, Ed.
To Embiid. Yes. And a foul. He'll have a chance at a 3-point play.
He should get some kind of acting award. That's a great sell by the offensive player. But guess what? The refs bit, and that's the game.
Joel Embiid at the line for a chance at a 3-point play. For his career, 77% at the line. Embiid's free throw good. A 3-point play. The Sixers extend the lead. Paul with it up top. Down 8. Trying to cash in. Ooh, Chris Paul. He's 3 for 7.
You see, you can't actually get mesmerized by the ball. You actually have to focus on the dribbler's belly button. I know that may sound cheesy, but trust me, he can't go anywhere without his core.
Paul across the timeline. Down 6. Oh, but they call goaltending and count the basket. Block.
Just incredible timing on that swat.
Knocks it down from mid-range.
There you go. I like seeing his scoring coming from unlikely sources.
Sixers control it. now ready for a couple of free throws.
Guys like Gary Payton would always take ones early like this all the time. Number one, to see if they'll get caught. And number two, to leave a little mark on you to remind you that they'll be on you all game long.
Oops, he missed the first one. Knocks down the second after missing the first. Now Paul with the basketball. Down 3. Oh, they called the foul.
He took a chance. That's the right call.
Paul. The hot shooting continues. He's got 12 in the first quarter, including that trifecta.
And Ed, did you see how quick his release was? There was no wasted motion from the waist up.
Short jumper misses. To Anthony. Scores from the post. Jay, mixed opinions with Carmelo Anthony. How will you remember his career?
Well, as of right now, he's a catch-and-shoot type player. But for me personally, Carmelo Anthony will go down as one of the isolation players of all time.
Lets it fly from long range. His first effort off the mark.
Here we go. My ball.
To Embiid. The drive right to the basket. Able to convert inside.
You feel that? I see the confidence building.
It's in the hands of James Harden. To Paul. No good. Goes to the left side. Butler. Jimmy Butler. 3 for 4. Good start.
And the three-point shot of the offense applies so much pressure on the defense, you can no longer build your teams inside out. The new way, you build your team outside in.
Chance for Chris Paul. Won't go.
Put the ball in the bucket.
Paul into the front court. Down 5. And scores. Strong take. The challenge defending a guy who can be a 1 or a 2.
We're not old men talking about this game. We don't define players by positions anymore. Is he a 1 or is he a 2? No, he's James Harden. He is a scorer and an elite passer.
Harden in possession. Looking to make something happen. Here's CP3. Ooh, Chris Paul. He's at 50%. Solid.
It looks like he's using his ball handling to feel the game out. I know it looks like he's just playing around out there trying to get the fans going. That is true, but he's also finding his rhythm.
Paul into the front court. Down 4. And he buries it.
No doubt about where that one was headed.
That's me. I got ball.
Carmelo Anthony snatching it out of the air.
Sent a message on that one, Ed.
And Embiid, good through the contact and going to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
The offense has very little to lose on those type of plays if they know they can, number one, create contact, and number two, still get the ball up. You need to assert yourself fully on the defensive end by initiating the contact and not allowing the offensive player to get that ball above his weight.
Brunson to Embiid. Using the post to his advantage there and the finish at the rim. They have set the tone in this one.
I love when I see offenses come out in beast mode. You attack that paint, you get to the rim, inevitably the floor will open up for you to knock down some threes.
From the painted area, won't go down. Brunson. Here's a chance from long range. Off the iron. No good. Lays it up and in.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
To Brunson. Stuffs it down with authority.
Well, they have such great flow to their offense this evening. The ball isn't sticking to one player individually. It's moving around the perimeter, and it's zipping. They're playing with a special cohesiveness.
Screen.
Nerlens Noel with the block. They've got it in the open floor. Sixers have the basketball. Brunson to Embiid. Tough make through traffic.
Defenders had no chance on that one. That's why we call it the elite tier.
And finishes strong.
I don't think I could do that on a 5-foot rim.
I can, because that's my only choice. Count it. No and one. There was some contact there.
Come on. You knew that setup was coming the whole game. But you were patient, and you waited until the right moment to use it.
Nice pass to get things going.
There's no better feeling after a game after you had 25-plus assists and you won the game, and everybody recognizes that it's time for their bank accounts to get rewarded.
Looks like some substitutions are coming on in. To Brunson. Lets it fly from beyond the arc. Jay, I don't know if you call that the shooter's touch, but they will take it.
Well, essentially, the touch did help the ball go in, Ed. I don't know. I might have to agree to disagree on that one.
Knocked loose. Taken by the Sixers. To Brunson. Goes reverse to lay it in.
I'd say his game is translating to the league just fine.
Rockets in control of the basketball. They've slowed down the pace. Now 3 on the shot clock. Right time, right player.
Can't teach height.
Count it.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the past. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
For 3, no good. Justin Patton pins it.
You know why? I don't see anybody on the defensive end standing up out of position. I see everybody squatted down, really active with their hands. That's the mentality that will lead you to where you want to go.
That'll do it for the first quarter, and a great start for the 76ers. Ed Cohen, Jay Williams with you as we get...
Let's go, fellas. It's go time.
Substitutions, Philadelphia. Substitutions, Houston.
Foot was on the line. It's a turnover. Now it's Harden at the controls. Screen coming.
Screen coming.
Probing the defense. Nothing going here on that drive. Harden. Driving right to the basket. and draws the foul.
Everybody in the building understands he's been a known target. Looks like they're hacking early in this one.
For Houston.
Can't connect on the first free throw. No good on the first, no good on the second. 0 for 2. Sets him up. A pass taken away by the Rockets.
You go back to the principles, things that we started working on when we were in first and second grade. It's called the shell drill. You stay down in the stance defensively, you try to deny the next pass away, and you have to communicate. If your conditioning is bad, you have no chance. But if you're able to do all these things together, collectively, you'll be able to stop a great passing team.
Now the Rockets will use a timeout as they'll take a moment to go over things here in the second quarter. Harden, defended by Patton. Off the mark. Well contested.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots.
Flushes down the slam. Jay, that's a strong connection.
And it's always about the play before the play. Look how the eyesight was able to connect between two players. We call that an eyesight contract. Because when you have a contract that's signed, sealed, and then delivered like that, that's how great plays are made.
Missed that one. The defender was all over him.
See, I don't like that shot right there. Pass the ball, get the defense moving, maybe set a hard screen, roll to the rim, see the ball go in a couple of times before you settle for a mid-range jumper that's contested.
Houston with the basketball. Harden. Got it.
Because in certain players' mind, it doesn't matter if they're amongst the trees or not. They're always going to be the giant in the paint.
I'm here. I got ball.
Fires the three, buries it on the catch and shoot.
They're shooting the ball well, but let me tell you why. They're already ready to shoot before they even catch the ball. Look at their hands. Their hands are ready, providing a target. So when they catch that ball, they go right into their shot. We call that being shot ready.
Off the assist.
Look, the most efficient offenses are the ones with the highest number of assists. There are only 5 teams in the league that average 25 assists or more.
Sheer strength to slam it down. He ran right through the gauntlet. He was ready right at the tip.
What a first half he's having. He came out of the gate, attacked, found ways to get to the rim. Now look how easy the game is coming to him.
Anthony. Oh, he had it. And count the basket inside.
This type of game needs to be celebrated. This is the type of culture that is fostered when you play with unselfish players. When you give up a little bit of yourself and you make your teammate look great, that's the difference between winning and losing. So when you see these guys smiling, when you see them giving each other high fives, that's because of the energy that was created from the pass. Pass is one of the most brilliant things we have in this game.
Beyond the arc for 3. And Carmelo grabs the rebound. Long key from 3/4 court. A very one-sided first half of basketball as we are at halftime. Let's get you to Orlando where we say hello to Jalen Rose and our EA Sports halftime report. Jalen.
The 76ers entered the locker room with a comfortable lead. Clearly, the number of three-pointers these guys scored in the first half was incredible. And if they could keep that up, it's going to be tough to keep that team down. Have a look at the leading scorers for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Rockets have dug themselves a bit of a hole after 2 quarters. Of course, they still have 2 quarters to turn things around, but it won't happen without making some adjustments.
Have a look at the leading scores for the Houston Rockets.
Game track. Assists.
Great effort makes for great highlights. These guys are playing a relentless style of basketball that really suits them.
Player of the half.
The film speaks for itself. He's definitely the player of the half. Now he just got to give an encore to get his team to win.
Here we go with the top plays.
Number 2. Number 1.
And with that, I'm sending it back to Ed and Jay to bring you the rest of the game.
And now Houston has the basketball. Harden to Paul. Good look that time, but off the mark.
Here we go.
Throws it down.
You know, from a point guard perspective, one of the things that I learned when I played in the league was that the more I was willing to give the ball up, the harder other players were willing to run to their spots. The harder the bigs were running to the rim. The harder the three-point shooters were running to the three-point line because they knew they could be active recipients. And when they caught the ball, they knew exactly what to do with it.
I got ball. Pick up. Match up.
Cashes in for 2.
Ooh, cool, calm, and collective. The 3 C's. His handles are effortless.
Paul with it up top. Down a bundle. And they call the foul. Careful there, Jay.
A simple touch foul.
That's his 3rd personal foul. Team foul number 1.
Harden to Paul. Joel Embiid tips it. That's his 3rd block this evening. And Carmelo Anthony, he won't miss those. Hits the wide open 3.
Oh, I like what you're doing right now. It looks like you're running some DHOs into PNRs. That's dribble handoffs into pick and rolls. You keep running that action, you're constantly going to keep the defense guessing.
Jimmy Butler, he's now 5 for 6.
Sometimes when the players find that flow, nobody else needs to touch the ball. He's in the zone by himself.
Harden with it up top. His guys down big. And a nice finish at the rim.
I don't know if the scouting report has made its way out here yet, but if anything, it says you need to not let him get that close to the rim.
To Allen. Butler. Going to launch. Beyond the arc. Anthony with the rebound. Paul across the timeline. He'll run the offense. To Capella. Paul. All by himself. Creates his own shot there.
I was expecting the dish there, but way to fake that one and lay that one in.
To Butler. Fires the 3. Tough shot. Well defended.
People do not realize the brilliance of the coaching in this league. The small adjustments made defensively has made all the difference in the second half.
Anthony to Paul. How you practice leads to that. Nice pump fake.
I think the defender had absolutely zero chance on that play.
I got him. I got ball.
Philadelphia with the basketball. And the finish at the rim.
Might have had an extra dribble or 2 there, but he got the shot he wanted.
Now Paul with the basketball. Looking to make something happen. Joel Embiid.
Whoa! Get that out of here.
Message sent, Jay.
Blocking so many shots only gives your perimeter that much more confidence to really apply more pressure.
Harden. Joel Embiid swats it. Ooh, 5 now.
Here's one of the biggest secrets as we move into this new age of basketball, especially in the draft room. You have to draft players with size and length. That's the biggest deterrent for any team offensively.
They're going to make some changes with some new personnel on the floor. And he missed the free throw. To Allen. 4-3. He was crowded. Grayson Allen off the mark.
In the first half, he pretty much made every single shot. It was magical to watch. But now that you have drawn so much attention, try to get your teammates more involved.
Capella. Scores from the post.
I like that.
There you go. Finally, shoot your shot.
And he finishes at the rim.
The one thing we know for certain in this league, it doesn't matter how big the margin is, you can always put together a run and get back in this one.
You're on the island now. You gotta get up on that.
Yes, and the foul. And a chance at 3 coming up.
So many times we get on the defender for quote-unquote letting the offensive player score on an and one. Sometimes there's a lucky bounce, but more often than not, it's the offensive player who makes the play happen despite the defender's best intentions.
Free throw try, off the mark. Finishing inside the paint on that one.
Sometimes you hear people give all these fancy breakdowns, tell you all these different things they can do. That was just plain old simple bully basketball. Muscled his way through the lane.
Drains it.
And if you're on D right now, if you're off on the weak side, stunt towards the driver. That means fake at him. Don't overcommit. Stunt, then get back to you or stay at home. Force him to make one of those passes or force him to take a crazy shot at the rim.
Butler. Big finish at the rim.
I know there's that old saying that says one man can't beat 5, but we're watching one man carry 4 other players. His back has to be hurting. Another big-time finish.
To Harden. Screen coming.
Screen's coming. Here it is.
James Harden trying to cash in. Just off the mark.
That's how you do it. You keep riding him to the basket, and if the refs aren't calling it, keep being physical. Keep knocking him off balance.
Number 10.
Here's Harden with the rock. Here comes the screen. Harden. Great defense, forcing the miss.
And look, sometimes you don't have it going every single night. Maybe utilize yourself as a decoy and get some teammates involved with your passing.
Knock that down, yo. Knock that down.
Has a chance. Screen coming. On the follow. Way to stay with it.
Look, there was barely any contact on that last play. I agree with the ref's no call. Let him play.
Butler to bring it up. His guys hold a commanding lead. From long range, can't connect. To Harden. Oh, highlight moves. Tough to do with the defender all over you. Jimmy Butler sends it away. Incredible. 6 tonight. Joel Embiid.
This game is all about playing mind tricks on people. The offense is more worried about getting their shot blocked than they are about actually making the shot.
Houston takes over. To Harden. Here comes the screen. Takes stock of the floor. Nothing going here on that drive. A bad pass as the Sixers come up with this steal. Stuffs it down with authority.
We call that get your money and put it in the bank.
Harden. Sixers with the rebound. To Butler.
Coming off the screen, coming off the screen.
And counted at the rim.
We're watching a clinic right now. We're watching basketball one-on-one. Whoever
Harden. Rockets with 4 to shoot. Doesn't have the touch. No good.
misses happen. Don't put your head down. Let that motivate you on the defensive end. Use it for something positive.
To Harden.
My ball, my ball.
The drive. Right to the basket. And he's fouled. He's going to the line for 2.
Okay, now we're on the home stretch, and you got a big lead. Don't let your opponent back in this game by giving up extra possessions.
And he connects on the first free throw.
Substitutions, Philadelphia.
So he hits the first, misses the second. To Allen. Deep 2 there, won't go.
It's easy. Force guys into low percentage shots. That's the reason why we're big into stats. It was all provided to you before the game in the scouting report.
Harden trying to take it to the basket, but a shot stays out.
Yo, big kudos to the defender. It seems like his mere presence in the paint was enough to make the offensive player miss the shot before he even got off the ground.
Easy path to the rim.
Great job using that shoulder to create contact with the defender without hesitation.
Curling inside. Lets it fly from long range. Misfires. It's no good. Nice follow-up on the dunk there.
Oh, man, did you see that swiftness? He dunked that thing like a tennis ball.
It looked like that in his hand. Rockets have the ball. Harden. To Capella. Nerlens Noel sends it away. Knocked loose. Sixers have it. Throws it up. That's out of bounds. Last touch by a Sixer. Changes coming from both sides right now.
Subbing in. Number 3, Chris Paul.
To Paul. He gets it.
You see, Ed, skill levels at this game are at an all-time high. Inside-out threats are tough. You got to make it hard for him to actually catch the ball in those higher percentage areas.
Now a steal as the Rockets have it. Yes, and a foul. To the three-point play.
The defender was actually in a good position there. They even made a decent play on the ball, but sometimes those bounces go the other way. Still, stay aggressive out there.
Free throw's good to cap off the three-point play as they draw a tiny bit closer. Here's a chance from long range, and it's Melo with the rebound. To Paul.
See the screen, see it.
Nice pass to set things up. Flushes it home. Jay, let's see if that's a sign for him.
Well, he's been pretty much non-existent the first 3 quarters, but when you have a play like that, that can get the juices going, and that can help you with your offensive rhythm.
Off the assist.
And if you don't contest, he's knocking that down with ease.
To Anthony. Reset here. Let's see what they do. And now he's going to shoot a few more as he's fouled going up for it.
Sometimes when you get up big, you get a little careless. But attention to detail through the end, that's how you avoid unnecessary fouls.
For the Philadelphia 76ers, number 8, Mario Lasagna.
Goes 2 for 2 at the...
Stepping in for the Rockets, number 13, James Harden. Entering the game for the 76ers, number 1.
Short jumper stays out. Joel Embiid with a piece. Make that 7. Paul, that's off the side of the rim, no good. Pass to the rim. Oh, the touch at the rim. Count it.
Well, we got a chance to firsthand watch something be created. I think we just watched an epidemic of passing. I've never seen something like this before. It was so contagious, everybody started to do it, and it ultimately led to the other team's demise.
If that's an epidemic, sign me up. Paul. Shot clock to 4 for Houston. Short jumper won't go down.
Let's be realistic. He's probably not going to miss a lot of shots. But the more effort you can give, you want to try to tire him out. Take his legs away. Make him work to catch the ball. That's how you win a defensive battle.
Harden has it up the floor. Yes, Carmelo Anthony. He's now 4 for 6.
I wasn't necessarily sure which way that PNR was going, but I guess neither was the defense. That makes 2 of us.
And finally, play is stopped on the tie-up. Well, as they get ready for the jump, someone's going to come away with the basketball. Lasagna against Harden.
I got ball. That's me. I'm hillside.
Lets it fly from beyond the arc. That won't go. Paul into the front court. His guys down 11. To Anthony. Short jumper off the mark. Lobs it up. A bad pass as the Rockets come away with it.
Tonight, it may not cost you, but in a playoff game, it will.
To Paul. Can't miss those. Now preparing to shoot at the line.
Aggressive play there, but you can't fault the defender for being up in the shooter. You need to contest shots, each and every one of them.
Clint Capella has got 2 shots coming. A career 48% free throw shooter. First free throw is good. No good on the second. It's a 1 of 2 trip. Oh, he's denied.
Oh, big man doing work right there.
And a putback slam.
You know, Ed, I'm down with guys having 35, 40, maybe 50 points in the game. But the one thing you look for in the defensive end, when there's a huddle after a guy has dropped multiple buckets on you in a row, and everybody's quiet, nobody stands up and says, yo, I got him, I'm going to stop him, you're in a worrisome place for your team.
Harden to Paul. Has a look. Shot by Paul won't go.
The most important thing a shooter can do is continue to shoot. The defense is always going to give great effort, but it's more of your psyche that goes into the next shot that will limit you on whether you make the shot or not.
Paul to Harden. Paul. Joel Embiid rejects it. 8 now. Cleans it up. Joel Embiid. Huge block. 9 blocks. The Sixers are victorious as they win this one handily. That does it. For my partner, Jay Williams, and our entire crew, I'm Ed Cohen. This has been a presentation of the NBA on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. As we say, so long, everyone.
Here we go with the EA Sports post-game wrap-up. The 76ers took this down to the wire before getting the win.
And it's surprising. We got such a competitive game when they hit so many threes. But they did what was necessary to finish it off.
Check out the leading scores for the Philadelphia 76ers. The Rockets must be devastated after such a close loss.
And even though they shot so well from the field, I bet they're only thinking about the shots they missed. This was a tough game to lose.
What you see here is how the majority of the points were scored for the Houston Rockets.
Game track. 3-point shooting.
Each of these teams were solid with their long-range shooting. So by extension, they were pretty poor with their perimeter defense. Closing out on shooters must always happen, whether you're tired or not.
Player of the game.
If you asked him, I'm sure he'd give the credit to his teammate and coaches. But at the end of the day, we know that he's the one that made the biggest impact on this game.
Who was gold?
What can you say about a guy like this? Except that he fits the title of this. These are the top 3 plays of the game.
Number 2. Number 1.
Here are the upcoming games for the Philadelphia 76ers. On behalf of ESPN on EA Sports, I'm Jalen Rose, and it's been our pleasure to present you with some NBA basketball.
I beg man, shut up. Let me see you, darling. My lie, 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 like. My lie, 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 like. My lie, 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 like. I love the weekend, girls up. Let me see you, darling. I love the weekend, girls up. Now bet you can. I love the weekend, girls up. Let me see you, darling. I love the weekend, girls up. Now bet you can. My mommy said I could be anybody. I said I want more money than I'm money. Break bread with that guy who made the Bugatti. Lifestyle is get money, bun everybody. Painting wife, go money to something. One who understands why I'm always. Who told you I can't handle man? You're on the floor, I'm still holding man. Gonna be talking. Yeah, let me see you.